Good evening. This is another edition of Nighttime with Karnes. Welcome. Just to give you an update on what happened with me last night, I just wasn't feeling well. I had ate dinner, and then about 8 o'clock, nausea set in, and then I just wanted to crawl into bed and sleep, and that's essentially what I did when I canceled last night's nighttime before bed, or basically just postponed it to today. Uh, The big topic this week is the inauguration 2017. Uh, we we have President-elect Trump, who gets inaugurated tomorrow, and then he becomes President Trump, and then there's then President Obama becomes former President Obama. Uh, it's a huge, everyone's polarized on this issue. 99% of the people in the world either love Trump or hate Trump. I'm like in the 1% that doesn't matter either way. To give you, I'll give you a history on my outlook on presidents. Back in the back in the 90s, Bill Clinton was elected in 92, and I've always been a conservative all my life, and I was partisan back then, and I hated Bill Clinton just for the simple sake of hating Bill Clinton. And then when Bush was elected in 2000, I saw that same partisan hatred from the from the left, and I realized that I had made a mistake in having such blind partisan hatred before, because partisanship doesn't really help anything. I saw all the things that liberals said about Bush. I disagreed with them. Um, and then I vowed to become a different person at that point. Since then, we've had President Obama since he was elected in late 2008, and through this year, I've put any sort of partisan feelings aside. I will I can I can be critical of presidents, but I won't be hateful of them and call them bad names or wish ill will upon them, or jump on any sort of like controversy that's like I didn't jump in or endorse any of the birther controversy. I I saw the evidence that other people presented online. I decided it was without merit and moved on from it. And the same thing with President Obama and in the claims that he's a Muslim. It's just way too sensationalistic, and I had my doubts. I don't think he's a Muslim. Secular, definitely, but definitely not a Muslim. So that we have President Trump, and I'm seeing the same partisanship again. People hate him. People on the left hate him. People on the right love him. Where he's coming in tomorrow, and I'll give him a chance. I did not vote for Trump. I did not vote for Hillary. I voted for Gary Johnson, and I even groaned when he had his goofy Aleppo moment during his campaign. I don't. When Trump announced his candidacy in I think it was either the late spring or the early summer of 2015, I knew then that there was no way that Trump could represent me as a person. Him being a billionaire, I've worked in the corporate world for the first 17 years. I've worked under millionaires, and I've seen how well millionaires in my former company thought of me, so I can't imagine Trump being any better than that. That said, I didn't vote for him because I don't think he represents me. Uh, Even though he is the elected president of the United States, I will give him a chance to do the right things. He's very bombastic. He's very what's the word I'm looking for? Emotional. I don't know if it's so much as emotional, but bombastic certainly does work. He's very controversial at the moment, and people hate him. I still think I still think people need to give him a chance. You can be critical of policies, and I certainly was critical of policies with the outgoing president. But until he does something wrong, he's not even president yet, and people are looking to impeach him on day one. By all means, if you can get your elected representative to bring up impeachment proceedings, go ahead. But then examine why you're doing it. Are you doing it out of your own blind hatred for him, or are you doing it because you actually think he's done something wrong? If it's just because you were with her and she lost, that's more of the poor loser, sore loser mentality than it is actually of being a patriotic American. But he gets inaugurated tomorrow. We'll see what he does in his first 100 days in office. That's the term I've seen bandied about today. I don't have much confidence in him, but my hope is that he will surround himself with he'll appoint people in his cabinet that he trusts that will make the right decisions for him. Now we'll know for sure in several months' time whether this turns out to be the case. Several months to a year. When he does his State of the Union address next year, we'll see what he has to say. Anything else? I am enjoying. Like I said, I'm a conservative, but I'm more of a macro conservative than I am I'm looking at big picture things. The things the things I'm more concerned about are things like national defense, economy, foreign policy, and infrastructure. Everything else, like the social issues, I defer to the public at large. Whichever way you guys want to go, I leave you to fight that fight. I don't believe you have to take a position on every issue, but it seems like the people who believe in partisan politics they're either extremely right wing or they're extremely left wing. I even saw partisan positions on vaccinations and net neutrality. And there shouldn't be a right and left position on something as simple as vaccination because it's vaccinations. It's been proven to work. I don't know why we have partisan positions on vaccinations because it seems silly to me. So I'm more concerned about more macro stuff that involve bigger picture things for the future of our nation, and I'm less concerned about the social issues. I'm more libertarian in that respect. But I am enjoying the liberal hysteria over Trump because apparently we're all going to die tomorrow as soon as he is sworn in, and then we're going to be rounded up and put into camps and killed, and I don't know what else. He's apparently a huge boogeyman that's going to kill us all. But I'll keep watching the hysteria and I'll keep enjoying it. That's pretty much it. I don't think I had a single person join the broadcast, even though I did announce the time. But that's okay. If you see this video later on, feel free to comment. I'll answer probably tomorrow since I'm going to go to bed right after this. Have a good night, everybody.